As India's live entertainment business hits a generational inflection point, concerts and large format events are fast evolving from passion projects to a serious cultural and commercial economy. In this episode, we bring together key voices from across the ecosystem to unpack what's driving the boom. The panel examines how India is positioning itself on the global live events map, where the money is flowing, what's holding the market back, and why the concert economy is emerging as one of the most powerful new engines of youth culture, brand engagement, and experiential marketing.
Welcome, everyone. So, Shuven, starting from you, I just want to understand, how do you look at the growth of concert economy and live experiences, especially in India?
So specifically for us in Tribe Vibe, our focus is producing live events and doing college and youth events in India of Indian artists. That's our primary business. And almost 80% of our business happens in Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets. Now, we started the company back in 2019, where we used to operate in the same format. About 70% used to be in Tier 2, Tier 3, and 30% used to be in Tier 1 markets. In the last 2 years, we've done a lot of ticketed shows in these markets. Like I'm talking about markets like Kanpur, Jodhpur, Udaipur. We just did a very big show in Warangal and Vizag. So the economy is, the concert economy is not just growing in the metro cities, but it's also growing in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets. And that has been our primary focus in the last 12 to 18 months.
So, Naman, how do you look at the surge in these kind of demands, and especially when disposable incomes in these towns and these cities?
So, Imran, what we are seeing is an absolute hockey stick growth, exponential numbers as far as live entertainment in India is concerned. And I'm glad to say that beyond just the concert economy, India is firmly now making its way to being a global entertainment hub. As far as numbers go, just to exemplify, the point that we're trying to make here, if you look at a single series of concerts that took place in Ahmedabad earlier this year, the 2 Coldplay shows that we did there, 250,000 people traveling from close to 500 cities across 28 states and 5 union territories of India, bringing an economic impact of 641 crores to the state of Gujarat, 72 crores directly in tax collections and everything else in terms of all of the adjacent infrastructure and economic flow that happens. I think that really underscores how massive the music economy, the concert economy really is. And you're seeing a secular growth as far as this industry is concerned. It's across cities, across towns, across genres, across other sectors within this space. So I think we're in the midst of something truly remarkable, nothing short of spectacular, just 17% growth between last year and today, 35,000 events on our platform from across the length and breadth of this nation. So that's truly where we are.
So what factors are driving this growth? Where do you see a markup rise in growth of concert and live experiences?
If you think about live entertainment in India, it was almost vilified. There was a certain taboo around it and it was stigmatized. In the last few years, as incomes have grown and as people have started to think of outings and entertainment beyond simply religious tourism or movies, you're seeing a number of sectors benefit. Live music being the most prominent one, but if you think about what's happening in stand-up comedy, what's happening in sports experiences and IPs, what's happening in theatricals and exhibitions, all of it is exploding. So I think people are looking to make the most of their leisure time. Optionalities that didn't exist in India historically. A lot of these IPs that we're talking about, a lot of the A+ artists that are now coming to Indian shores just didn't exist. So there's been in the last few years, on the back of economic growth and infrastructure development, which can be faster than what it is today, while we are happy with what's happening, we believe there is immense scope as far as venue growth is concerned, enabling infrastructure is concerned, ease of business as far as permissions and all of that is concerned. As that will all happen, you'll see this grow manifold. But even today, predominantly on the back of if you look at just the sheer number of mobile phone connections in the country, we are at billion data connections. We are at almost 1 billion devices. This is already the world's largest English-speaking population anywhere. So these factors and the exposure to global metrics, global artists across platforms like Apple Music and YouTube and Spotify and Instagram have led to a secularization of taste of preferences, of access and consumption, all of that has harmonized and has given us this moment.
Right. Jigar, Nodwin does a lot of IP-related work wherein music, pop culture, and gaming is intertwined. How do you look at growth of these genres and connected growth of such kind of experiences at one single place?
See, going from what Naman said earlier, right? People have global exposures and people do not live in silos anymore. So a gamer is going to watch stand-up comedy, they are going to listen to music, a music fan is going to watch esports, and everybody consumes pop culture, right? So I feel that IPs, ever since we've been doing NH7 Weekender for so many years now, and primarily being a music festival, we always used to introduce stuff like we used to have a stand-up comedy stage, we used to have slam poetry, we did a breakdance stage. So we always try to make our IPs multi-genre. So it has to have something for everyone, right? So if you're not into a particular type of music, that's fine. You can still come. There's esports happening, there's gaming happening, there's comedy happening. And I do believe that as far as IPs go, I'm not saying that you shouldn't concentrate on only one thing. You should, but you should be nimble enough to maybe be able to modify what you stand for over the course of time, because what you do now, people might not be interested in 5 years from now.
How do you think the audience as well as brands have evolved from 90s to now, and what kind of ROIs are they expecting from such kind of large big IPs?
So Imran, for brands, this is an altogether new frontier. It's a channel and a format and an omni-channel experience that they haven't got previously. If you think about the environments that we create, whether it's for Indian music through Tribe Vibe, international festivals and tours through Book My Show, or EDM through Sunburn, most people coming to our shows are coming in the best possible frame of mind. They're there to engage with the surroundings, certainly with the act that's up on stage, but they come with an open mind to really soak in everything that's around them. As far as brands are concerned, it's an amazing opportunity. So they can start engaging with our users online, where we have almost 80 million users on our platform. So that's where the engagement with the brand begins. Then when they come on ground, there are activations that brands can do. At Lollapalooza alone, Imran, there are several $1 million worth of investments that brands make with us. That's a 2-day festival we do in Mumbai. Lollapalooza 4.0 is happening in January 2026. And you'll see close to a dozen different brands do very exciting initiatives on ground to really capture the attention and the time spent by audiences on ground. So I think brands are realizing that as far as ROI is concerned and their investments are concerned, these are places where in the shortest possible gestation period, they can get the highest possible ROI. So a lot of brands are diverting budgets from traditional channels like print and outdoor and online to an omni-channel experience that only live entertainment and the concert economy at large can deliver.
One more aspect here, what we look at is the regulatory aspect, right, and infrastructure. How do you look at the growth of infrastructure and regulatory hurdles while planning an event?
Those are ongoing issues. We have to deal with them, but I think it's getting a little better, especially in the metro cities. There are more venues. If you see the last 1 or 2 years, there are events happening throughout the year. All the 12 months earlier, it was very seasonal. There was nothing happening during the rains. Now there are a lot of indoor venues. It's fairly simpler to get permissions as compared to probably 2-3 years back. I'm not saying it's that easy, but the authorities are pretty cooperative. Our challenges usually exist in smaller cities in Tier 2 and Tier 3 markets where it's still growing. Like we did a show in Warangal, and I'll just give you a small example. I think that was the biggest show that happened there. There were about 8,000 people who bought tickets and came. It's a very small town. We were not expecting that. I mean, the authorities were so happy. They're like, please come again, keep doing shows over here. They are the ones who gifted us. We didn't gift them. So, I just think that the next couple of years is looking good. We do need more support from the authorities. We do need more venues. Because if there are no venues, Naman and me, both of us are always fighting. We have to plan at least 2 years in advance. Sometimes we are fighting within the company. Who's going to book the venue? So our country needs more venues. They need more plug-and-play venues because a lot of venues needs a lot of work. So I think while we are at a good stage, but there is a need for improvement.
Right. Naman, we recently saw the entire crowd and mob at West Bengal wherein the Messi event was interrupted, and then we also saw RCB event. How do you avoid such kind of challenges? How do you make sure that everything is lined up and everything is pre-planned and well settled?
So Imran, this is a subject that is very close to all our hearts. We contend with this on a day-to-day basis. Look, there are a few factors here. Like I was saying earlier, Imran, we are an industry that till Jan this year, Jan of 2025, was really operating in the shadows because we weren't officially recognized as people who could create tremendous value, which is contrary to the facts. This is an industry that is the quickest to create jobs, that is, in terms of value addition and economic impact downstream and across adjacencies, can bring in tremendous benefits for the entire ecosystem. If you think about it, 500,000 people, according to our own estimates, traveled just in 2025 for concerts. 2 million people went to shows alone. So it's not just the economic impact, but the mental aspect of it, right? Now, as all of this happens, obviously, India is underprepared but supremely willing to fix things. You think about venues. We are currently repurposing sports infrastructure like we did with the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad to do concerts there. These weren't built for live shows but can be repurposed to actually create a moment that led to the world's biggest ever show happening in India in Ahmedabad at the Modi Stadium. Shovan spoke about indoor arenas and venues. Mumbai today, in fact, if I have to think across the country, barring the small venues which were built historically for classical music or smaller shows, we don't have a single arena of consequence in the entire nation. So all of us are working with each other and with agencies to figure out how to build venues. Health and safety. There are protocols in place for political rallies. There are protocols in place for sports that happen. But today there is no playbook in the nation for how to get health and safety right for a concert or for a sports experience that you alluded to. Now, all of this needs to be learned internationally and contextualized domestically to create safe harbors. This takes a lot of learning across the world. It takes a lot of training on home soil to ensure that we have the best knowledge available, the best tooling available. If you think about just our entire setup. So there are several aspects to ensuring show safety and security, and all of us have to work together to eradicate all of the risks that exist to doing shows in the country. Another very important aspect, Imran, is the absolute abolishment that we need of VIP culture. This is a nation that does not understand how to respect the sanctity of shows and artists, right? If you think about how we communicate with each other, it comes out casually in conversation, but everyone wants a free pass. What is a free pass? When you board an airline or when you go onto a train or a bus or the metro, you purchase a ticket. So when you come to our shows, please learn to respect our work and the economics of our industry. There is no pass. It's a ticket you purchase or you request someone to gift to you. So historically, we've not had this culture of respecting this space. Like Shovan mentioned, it's rapidly changing. But I think we need to educate a lot of people. There is a literacy campaign across agencies, across the industry, across brands, across consumers that's required to reach a level where we can truly pull off show after show with the highest standards of health and safety.
Right. Coming to you, Jigar, we have seen that Nodwin also faced regulatory hurdles for Weekenders NH7, right?
Yep.
And what happened to that? I mean, what exactly went behind this, and how do you plan to come back to Maharashtra now?
I mean, we'd love to come back to Maharashtra. It's been the home of NH7 Weekender since its birth, and it's almost like a rite of passage, right? Pune has a lot of students. Everyone who goes to college there, it's a rite of passage for them that, hey, have you been to NH7 Weekender? We'd love to go there again. Whether we will or not, it remains to be seen. Like Shovan said earlier, there are too many regulatory hurdles that we face, and it's becoming better, right? So when we used to do concerts 10 plus years ago, we had to go to 42 different windows. Now it's down to maybe 15 or 16. It's a fever dream to make it a one window thing, but we'll see if we can get there maybe in 10 years time. But I mean, there are a lot of things that can go wrong when you are planning for a concert, and we work hard for the fans to have a great experience. And if we are able to do that, again, we'd love to be back in Pune for sure.
Right. Coming to my last question, Shoven, going forward, how do you look at the growth of concert economy and live experiences? What will define and shape this industry and this sector the next 4 years, 5 years?
I think there is a tremendous growth, at least for the next couple of years. Of course, the trend will keep changing. Uh, some point of time, a particular genre of music is popular. Sometimes some other genre is popular. Comedy is doing really well at this point of time. But I think there is a growth pattern for all types of events, be it comedy, music, sports, etc. I think that people are wanting to go for not just marquee events, but they are also wanting to go for regional events as well as cultural events as well as comedy events. And I mean, just to give you a quick example, we do a lot of cultural shows. We do a lot of festival shows. We do shows with Falguni, Aditya Garvi. It's always full house. It doesn't really matter what international artists coming out that point of time. It doesn't really matter what is happening around in different cities. There is an audience for everything. You just have to do the event at the right time, at the right place. You have to price it right. And we have to also ensure that there is not an oversupply of events happening. So all of us need to work together to make sure that we are growing the economy and we are growing the business and not competing with each other.
Naman?
Look, as far as India is concerned, Imran, it is firmly now a global epicenter as far as entertainment is concerned. If you look at the kind of artists that have already visited India in 2025 and the pipeline we have for 2026, across genres, you're seeing among the top talent of the world that's now interested in coming to our shores. So I think the future looks extremely promising. There is a lot of work that entrepreneurs like us need to put in. There is a lot of work that the authorities in India need to put in. There is a lot of work that promoters, agents, managers, etc. have to put in to ensure that we continue to lead the world as far as the experience economy is concerned. So we continue to be cautiously optimistic. I think the trends are quite promising, but getting the artist supply right, getting pricing right, getting health, safety and security right, making states participants in this entire process, working closely with relevant ministries at the center, whether it's the Ministry of Tourism, External Affairs, Culture, Sports, so on and so forth. We have to kind of ensure that there is synergy and harmonization of our goals going forward. So as a company, we are deeply optimistic about the prospects of India. You already saw trending artists like Travis Scott pull off almost 200,000 tickets by making India the anchor to his last run of a 2-year show that he's been doing across the globe, Circus Maximus. So, all signs point to this being a very vibrant space, and let's hope that we continue to get things right.
I mean, for gaming as well as for all types of events, to what Shovan and Naman said earlier, India is now a strategic stop point for all international artists, right? Specifically talking about music, but also now you see a lot of comedians coming in, a lot of other types of entertainers, right? What used to happen was they used to do shows in the Middle East, skip India or South Asia completely, and then go to the Malaysias and Thailands of the world, and now they make sure that they stop over at India because the audience is here. They want to interact with the audience. They want to tap into that population. So that is most definitely going to happen for the next couple of years. But I also do think that there is a big space where we do community-led events where the artist itself is not at the epicenter, or we are not truly at the ransom of the artist to sell out the tickets. People are just coming because they are interested in a particular, it could be food, or it could be alcohol, it could be Comic-Con, it could be anything. Those shows are doing extremely well as well, right? And we need to bring those to Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, which is now starting to happen. We've expanded Comic-Con from 4 cities to 10 cities this year. We are hoping to make it to 25 cities by 2027. So that's one thing that we definitely want to do for India, to go deeper into India. But also there should be a shining beacon of events from India where we export at least one big event from India to the world. as well. That hasn't really happened. Indian artists, of course, are doing exceptionally well outside. But IPs built in India, we need to see at least one go global as well. And that's a personal dream of mine, which we are trying to make it possible. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it in the next couple of years.
Thank you so much, everyone. And thanks for joining us today at the studio. Thank you. Thank you.